Hey guys, it's Adventure. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're taking a look at the Flightsim Studio's Tecnam P2012 2012. This is a bigger aircraft from Tecnam. We already looked at their 2006. Now, the 2012 Traveller is an 11-seat utility, and it was originally developed, of course, because Cape Air in 2009, the Massachusetts commuter airline, asked them for a bigger aircraft to suit their needs. Now, it was publicly revealed in 2011, and in 2015, Cape Air signed a letter of intent to order 100, and on the 21st of July 2016, the first flew. Now, their first commercial aircraft, of course, it's their first commercial, I should say, and it's been introduced as a commercial airliner. It serves in VIP, cargo, parachute, and medevac roles. Cape Air use them currently, and apparently there's forecast for about 1,100 of these things. Sorry, there's forecast for 11,000 short-haul commuter aircraft in this coming period. So they hope to take part in that market with something like this. Something that's small but capable, low cost, its piston engine should fit multiple roles. Now, of course, we talk about Cape Air, they operated Cessna 402s and aircraft like that, so it's a perfect aircraft for that kind of role. Now, it's also got a special mission platform variant, and I'm going to show you here. It comes with loads of liveries, and it comes with a number of different variants, like we mentioned. We have cargo, we have passenger, combi, medevac, special mission platform, skydive. The aircraft comes with a huge number of variants. Now, she can, of course, carry 9 passengers and about 3,100 pounds of useful load. And when it comes down to what the aircraft actually has to operate with, of course, she has a max speed of about 194 knots. Cruise is at 170, which is very useful. Stall speed of about 65 full flaps. Range of 950 nautical miles. So a very capable little aircraft, powered by 2 Lycoming 540 6-cylinder air-cooled horizontally opposed, turbocharged, useful, piston engines, putting out 375 horsepower each, and they have 4-bladed props. So that's pretty useful. Now, what does the aircraft come with in terms of features? Well, that's the important part here, of course, and that's the part we always want to know about. As I'm going to move the camera around here, and I'm going to slow the camera down while we take a quick look around the aircraft. Now, I sent to copy this by FSS, so just a heads up in that regard. Now, like I said, we have an airliner, cargo, combi, medevacs, skydive, special missions. What features do we have? We have cockpit switches and buttons, which you'd expect, wouldn't you? Doors, walk-around items, including tie-downs. We have pitos that you can remove and put on the aircraft. All these features are vertically clickable. Just look at that pito cover. That actually looks real. That's a level of detail you don't typically expect a pito cover. I'll give them that. The gear looks very nice. I'm a big fan of gear. There's the main gear. Those brake rotors actually look like they've been braked against. They look like they've been squeezed. There's nice little bits of dirt here. I think that's important when you look at an aircraft, and they've not gone excessively high resolution for the sake of it. The resolution is where it needs to be, which is quite nice. Now, I'm not going to faff around looking external for too long. We'll see more of this in the walk around. We have icing effects and visualizations, rain effects, customized version of the GE1000 NXI with different custom CAS messages, engine pages, and FMS keyboard. Sounds are all recorded from real aircraft, and it's got a complex engine noise influenced by thrust, prop, and turbocharger state with noise cancelling headphone options. So that's very cool. Let's go inside and let's take a proper look at the aircraft here where we are starting. Now, my battery switch was on. I do apologise for that. I'll make sure everything is set back to as it should be in cold and dark. So here is our cockpit. Here are our doors. Very clickable little door things. We like doors. Now, if I scroll all the way back to the back of the cabin here, on the passenger variant, we can even open the baggage compartment there. And we got our chocks. And if we click on those, we'll put those out, which is very cool. Just move out here. Close the baggage door. Let's open the back door, shall we? There's our passenger door out. And baggage loading area at the rear. Which, of course, if we're in here and we open this, makes more space for loading. So really good size there of cargo door. Although the handle's still visible there. This is a beta version, by the way. So this is not the final variant that will be released to the public. Door switch, still, the handle still there. That's a minor little derpy moment, but it happens. It's a beta, things get missed. Where's the handle? There's the handle. If we look here, this will come down and we'll see this will be part of the livery that's attached to that. So yeah, that makes sense as to why that was doing it. It happens. It's a model. Features get missed and found. Okay, let's close the passenger pilot doors and we'll start up our EFB. Now, the EFB comes with features they had in the original one, like the charts for our Navigraph. We have pre-flight nav maps. We have Mission Hub from FSS as well, which of course isn't open yet. This will likely come after they release the aircraft. So we can switch to, for example, cargo and load it. And look at the back here. Pallets, these will change with weighting. So if I go to my weight and baggage and I go, oh, okay. I'm not going to keep these weights in here, don't worry. I'm just putting items in the back and we can load cargo. And it's not unloading for some reason. I could have sworn it would actually unload. It might be, again, just a... Oh, because it's not actually registered it as having removed it. There we go. There we go. That's just the sim being special. So we'll close that there. Right, that is our baggage. Wait, didn't want to take over £2,000 in one pallet location. That could be awkward. So that's our cargo interior. Combi. Which gives us one row of seats, one row of pallet space. If all variants are available on one aircraft, med double stretcher. So there's one stretcher and there's another one further back. Over here. That is very cool to have that option. Then we have the med single as well, which should be the same just with one. Yep, more seats and just one stretcher at the back. And then we'll have, okay, med single, med double. These are all the variants that fit on this version. You'll already have seen in the pictures earlier on. Special mission platform, and which has external differences as well. Because this one, externally, looks the same way. The interior changes. The interior is a separate model in how the sim loads. In the exterior, that model, of course, will have different factors, like the special mission platform will have cameras, and Skydive will have the skydive door. Those are separately loaded models from the actual loading the aircraft list. You won't be able to change that interior without going to different aircraft. But either way. Right. Other options we have headphone simulation. We'll try that later. We have preheaters for the engine, and we'll get ground power. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our pre-flight here. So props, tyre condition, chocks, fuel, and oil quantity. So chocks, remove those. Check our tyre quantities. We'll see those down there. Now, props. We can turn it through. I noticed a glitch here where you're seeing the hole kind of stay in position when you rotate this. That's hopefully something they'll fix as well. Now, I believe there's ways to ailerons. We can move those and check those for movement. Nice and easy. Now, I know there's a way to check the oil. I haven't found it yet myself. So those are all removed. That's unchecked. I don't know how to check that one or check the fuel. That's on me. Aileron movement, tie down. Those are checked and removed. Wonderful. All good in that regard. So what's next here? Elevator movement, rudder movement, and tie down. Elevator movement. There we go. Rudder movement. Everything is good as it should be. Tie down not in place. Let's go check over here. Inner movement and tie down. No tie down. Aileron is good. We'll go through full checklist for this. So tire inflation, wheel chock, prop, fuel quantity, oil level. I don't know how to check the fuel quantity or the oil. There has to be a way. I know you can open these various things. Tie downs and chocks. Okay. Those are good. And we should, other than this front one, pull the pitos off there. Pull the nose, wheel chocks and tyre check. Those, of course, will vary. So in here, I think I may actually to open various bits and pieces. But I'm not entirely always sure how to do that. Some things look a lot easier to do compared to reading the manual. And I have the manual. The manual is actually great. It's an online one, so you can click through to different sections quite easily, which is very nice in terms of seeing how those work. Of course, sometimes things will be a little bit more complicated than you like to think, unfortunately. So I'm not quite sure how to open those. I will apologise for you. But prepare for parking, prepare for departure. We can complete auto check the various items on this, but I'm not going to do that right now. And our nav map, of course, is quite simple, but effective. So let's go through a checklist. And oh, look, we got a checklist. So pre-flight, aircraft flight documents on board. Flight extinguisher is okay, because we can't actually do it. Brakes tested set to park. So, brakes applied. Park, that's set. So our parking brake lever there. Circuit breakers are in, ignition is off. So ignition switches are in off position there. Circuit breakers are all in, as far as I can tell. Okay. Master left and right cross, switches on, and lights on. Flaps cycle. So left and right, master and cross. Cycle the flaps. Let's do that. Reach around here. Our flaps should cycle for us. Yep, flaps are cycling. Nice and easy. And those will come all the way up as well. They're actually pretty reasonable travel on those flaps. So let's go back inside. And we'll go through to our next checklist item, which will be the lights. Those definitely work, of course. I can turn those on and off. And we'll just quickly do something with that, in fact. Let's turn our instrument lighting on here. And let's turn our cockpit panel lighting on. I'll make it nighttime real quick. And here we are in the cockpit. We've got lighting up here as well, which can be controlled with... Where are you? You're here. We've got our map lighting there, in case we have something in our hands we can look at. But we've also got scalable cockpit lighting here. Just leave the glow of the instruments and exactly as we want it, which is really nice. Those, of course, will work as do the exterior lighting. My exterior light mapping is always a pain in the backside because my Bravo has it all mapped and I can't always reach them. It's a huge hassle, but that's just flight controls for you. So we are going to want to make sure our fuel is set to left and right for tanks. Okay, checklist item next will be test those, of course, fire and engine combo. I would do that, but I'm not going to. Heater's not going to test. Normal windshield, and that's the TKS stuff. We're not going to test that. Switch those to off. So master and cross to off. Okay, right. Before engine start, so pre-flight seatbelts checked. Master left, right. Cross switches on. So master, cross, left and right. We're going to set our left and right B battery backup batteries and tie bus to on. Tie bus, so backup battery left, right, then tie bus on. Something clicked. Did something pop? Did I hear a pop there? No, all breakers are in, so we're okay. Flight controls are free and correct. Let's test that. Let's put that back on. So rudder is good. We have yoke movement as we need it. Okay. Yoke's complete and free. Throttle levers are movable and idle. Props are there. Good. Fuel levers, condition levers set where they are. They don't have that in this, of course. It's FADEC. And prop levers fall forward. Circuit breakers all in. External lights set as required. They are. Flaps for takeoff, which we're going to set now. Avionics check and acknowledge. Heaters and trims. Trim is down here, of course. And the masters are on for those. And our trim numbers. I don't really know where to find that. That's one of the things I don't actually know. Okay. Let's press OK on this. That's our menu page there. We'll go to our engine instruments just because we want to see that. Looking good. Okay. What's good next? So engine start. Doors locked and closed. Prop air is clear. Aux fuel pumps on. Verified green arc. So aux pumps to on. Ignition will be on. Start button press. Ignitions are on. We're looking good. Start button press. So start 1. Start 2. Okay, starting here, and we're going to put our generators left and right on, which will be part of our engine run-up, I believe, or post-taxi. So crossfeed, it will be set, and flight instruments checked. They are good. Before run-up, so fuel selectors, check normal, prop levers, those are all fine. We won't bother with these ones for the time being, but we want to go through the start checks, of course. making sure the entire aircraft's good. Now we can rotate the checklist around and look at our other ones. We've got before landing, we have our airspeeds here for us, including various weight ones. And of course we can put it away, we can stick it in the pocket to our left or right. If we want to, so I can pull it up again. Go over there. And it goes back to here. So we wanted to hear about the sound, by the way. Options. Very quiet with the headphone simulation on. Turn that off, and we are good. And I realise we've been here for like 15 minutes basically testing the aircraft and playing with the various features following checklist, but I think that's something that's useful to see sometimes, and it includes it, and I wanted to try it because it's used in a fun way with this. So, as I make sure, and you know what? This will unfortunately be one of those days whereby I don't use my head tracking in a flight because my wrong, thing is set. By the way, you can't taxi if the chocks are in, by the way. Yeah, my wrong webcam is plugged in, my visual webcam is plugged in, which does not respond well to head tracking. I have an IR one, which I use specifically for head tracking, and I have a regular webcam, which I use for talking to friends, and that one's plugged in. And if I unplug it, the flight sim will freak out, and everything else will freak out. And I'll have to reload everything from scratch, which is a 10-minute process at minimum, and frankly, head tracking, whilst nice, doesn't distract from me reviewing the product. I flew without head tracking for years, I will cope. So flaps set to take off. I will say the sounds are nice. The taxi sounds are good on this aircraft. Pricing is to be confirmed. They have not released that. It is expected to come out first here on the Aerosoft website and Contrail, the Flightsim web kind of hub. So Contrail and on Aerosoft's web store. Fancy throttles here. It will come to Marketplace eventually, but that'll be early 2024. But it will come out before Christmas on the Marketplace after Christmas. Before then, Contrail and the Aerosoft store. Okay, up we go. Engine sounds are really nice on this, I will say. They're very different and they're quite nice. Everything responds as it should with the aircraft, which is very, very nice. Obviously, we have no landing gear to pull up. Pretty sure I'm checking the right things here. There we go. Let's pull the flaps in, shall we? Nice looking aircraft, I will say. Visually very well made. The model is good. The sounds are good. The simulation looks good. Performance of the sim is very good as well. It's not amazing, but it's not bad either. Like, it's not the highest FPS I've ever gotten in the sim at this airport with an aircraft. It is relatively complex, but it's not terrible either. It's more than fine. I'd say it's normal. Now, we said cost is to be confirmed, and availability within 2023 is the best answer they can give you. Is it study level? Well, thanks to extensive cooperation with Alpine Air, which is one of the companies that fly these, they had access to the real aircraft, they were able to get all references for the model, and spend time with the aircraft to get recordings, and available to their pilots as advisors, checking systems and flight behaviour, and within their possibility to take into account limitations of flight sim, they say they've implemented everything exactly according to the manual. So there are no failures, but it's study level. So there is that. And state saving is a thing, so you can actually set that on and off as you wish. There is an EFB, as you noticed, of course, it's useful to have. So otherwise, everything states all setting there. Nice and easy. We can set our panel state as well, which is always nice to have. I do like how the aircraft works. It's very much a fun aircraft. It fits a different niche in terms of the light kind of utility aircraft role. Certainly what I like. It's my favourite role of aircraft, honestly. So it's nice to be able to have things that do this job. I wasn't necessarily a massive fan of the 2006. It felt like a flight training aircraft, which it is. It's a light twin trainer. It wasn't a particularly interesting aircraft to me. This is more visibility, I think, in the cockpit, and it looks better as an aircraft. Like, physically, this looks like a nicer aircraft. It looks more balanced this way. The size looks right. It has purpose and can carry cargo and people. Can do medical. It's a very appropriate aircraft. And for me, this fits a niche of aircraft I would fly. And the checklist thing, I like the fact that obviously you can pull those out, you can put them away. They're not stored on the glare shield, which is cool, because that's one thing that bugged me, was them being stored up there. I'm going to do a bit of a keyhole turn here and turn back around for our approach. Autopilot functionality is up there, of course, on top of the glare shield. Pretty standard device, we've all seen those before. Lots of backup systems and backup batteries, and those all function down here. Stall warning modes, TKS backup pumps, all the various things. We want the ECS down here, which is very nice to have as well, and wheel on weight, which is very useful for measuring certain stall performance speeds. Okay, let's get it turned around here so I pull the power back here. I'm used to be able to look to my side and actually have my head turn, so flying without that head tracking on is kind of annoying, unfortunately, but that's just on me. I don't think it detracts personally. Texture quality in the aircraft is very well done. The aircraft's new and modern. It's a very new design, so it's going to be pretty clean and pretty modern materialed. It definitely does that job. There's the town. Power back here. To idle. Props to full fine. Let's pull our checklist out actually. Anything we need in here, so engine run up, so we need next page. Before we crash into the water. Before landing, wind weather check, approach briefing, yes. Passengers, aux pumps to on, landing lights, flaps, okay. So we need to set our flaps speed we are within. So flaps are being set, pumps are going to... I left those on, they should have been on auto, so that's my bad. Those should have been on auto. I'm pitching up now like an idiot because I'm trying to pay attention to too many things at once. Which is the one benefit of having an actual checklist in your hand rather than having one on a certain location on the screen, and head tracking where I can just look between the two quickly. These are different camera viewpoints. Those are going to be largely relevant to me right now, so let's keep my nose down here. The most arsed up approach I've ever seen, but we should be okay. Okay, gonna hold it around 85, so let's level ourselves out. She will float pretty nicely, it seems, with the flaps deployed. We're on full flaps here for this approach. Nice and easy. Hold her on the approach here. Just let the power drop slightly. We're holding 80 knots now. Looking good. Okay. A little bit more speed actually we want. Bit slow. Add a bit more speed in here. That's what we want. Perfect. Coming up a little bit more. Powering back here to idle. Aiming for the numbers. Nice and easy. Gonna bring the nose up here. Apply a little bit of trim. And let the nose settle us down. We landed a little short there, but not terribly. A tiny bit short. And a little quick. Could have slowed down. Not terrible though. Okay, flaps coming up. And we are stopped in time for the exit, which is important. Always try and stop in time for an exit. It's always a pain when you have to back taxi or go for the next one. So what do I think of the aircraft? I think she's good. I think this is a really nicely made aircraft. The price will be a big factor. I don't know what the price will be, but in terms of what we expect from an aircraft in the sim, she has good visuals. She's got good sounds, good function, play features, you know, candy and practical ones. There's walk-around features, there's checklists, there's all the kind of things we'd really like to see. And it has lots of add-on functionality like our Navigraph charts. We can work with the tablet stuff, so that's always useful. The manual is excellent, and it's being a digital one, you can skip straight to checklists or special features. Tablet EFB controls and settings, so that's very useful. I think this is a well-rounded add-on, and I think if the pricing is anything like we're expecting, average kind of price for these kind of things to come around, this is a guess, okay? I would not be against paying €30 for this, but I'd say I don't expect it for less than 20. That would be my biggest thing here, is I don't know how much it's going to cost, so it is tough to say how much it will cost. I'm going to go to control right now and go to the aircraft, and while I look on there, I'm going to look for the P2006. Now, this is our reference number in terms of what I think it could be like. It might be more, it might be less. However, I will look this up now, and as soon as it decides to load, because that's being slow. I'm using control for this aircraft because I was given it by FS Studios. Okay, $32. If it's about the same price as that, which it might be, I'd say that's a fair price. Yeah, with what you get for this, I'd say perfectly fair. So, hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and you hopefully got something out of this. I think it's a rather nice add-on. Flaws. What can I think of before we go? Because there has to be something, right? I have to think of something. It's tough, because when I want to be critical, to be fair, but I haven't really seen anything I want to be necessarily critical about. That's my big thing. Maybe easy to open some of those covers for the engines and things. That might be my bad. Visually, sound-wise, flight-wise, feels good. I like it, actually. No, I can't find any. Thanks for watching. Confused Avenger noises. Bye!